very few people like me, so
nobody knows
I
what
feel
it
like that's not.
Nobody knows what.
I know.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey
guys, I'm left-handed. We should have
Like this high sex this morning, wasn't it supposed to be like the same as this?
Test you took this morning was. I gave you the one from
Yeah, like.
the previous chapter. Why did you say that?
Because I thought it was like the same thing.
So can we do it again?
Yeah.
Alright, I apologize.
No, it's okay.
Cheat test.
I thought I said the wrong one. I thought it was like, she like,
No, okay, so I'll give you. We'll fix this up.
okay.
It'd be like that.
Sorry about that. What is that from? Why do people say that?
Be like that? Weird
Yeah.
ones, but okay. It's something
It's cool to using correct grammar these days. Just randomly. So.
Is it though?
sometimes I feel like that.
Just, but it's like that.
It'd be like that. Be like that. Just be like that.
I think that's like the point though.
No, I know, but I said it's just cool to use the incorrect grammar. I don't know why, but
Do you know what it is?
It's be that way.
I know. Alright. So geometric. We have been recording for like last 5 minutes.
It'd be that way. Recording.
So the formula for geometric, I didn't really leave space for it, but let's put it over here. The probability that x equals k. So I'm giving you a formula for this one. I didn't really give you a binomial formula. That's okay, but I want to talk about the geometric one because it should make sense to you why it works. And I want to talk about that. So I'll write that down before I forget to do that. And then the requirements for geometric. 3 of them are the exact same as binomial. So you still need a fixed probability. You still need independent trials. And you still need a clear yes or no. Or success failure, whichever way you want to say that. The difference, and this is where, so you're going to get a test that has geometric and binomial. And so you got to look at the problem and figure out, the first thing you got to figure out is this geometric or is this binomial? Binomial has what's the fourth one? What's the one that's missing for binomial? Fixed number of trials. So they say, we're going to roll the dice 6 times. We're going to flip 8 coins. We're going to shoot 10 free throws. Like, I know exactly how many times we're doing it. In this one, we do it until we succeed once. So I'm going to flip a coin until I get heads once. So is that a fixed number of trials? No, I could get ahead on the first flip. It could take 10 flips. So I'm looking for the first success. Not the second success. Like once I get one success, I stop. So looking for first success. So this is not a fixed head. So it'd be like, I'm going to ask you a question. If you get it right, you get to see. Once you get that first success, you're done. You're gone. It's over. I don't know how many times it's going to take. So it could be the first question I ask you, you're right. It could be the 10th question. So it's not a fixed number of times. The Q stands for the probability of failure. The P is the probability of success. What should those two add up to? Should add up to 1. You guys with me?
Yeah.
I wasn't talking to you, I was talking to the bozos. Glad you're with me. The K stands for like the number of the success that we're looking for. Like if I want success on the 5th trial, K would be 5. So why does the formula make sense? So this formula, I think, is very intuitive. if you are going to, let's say I'm going to roll a die until I get a 1. What's the probability that I don't get a 1? 5 out of 6, right? What's the probability that I do get a 1? 1 out of 6. Well, if I said, what's the probability that the first 1 comes on the 5th attempt? How many times do I fail? 4. And then how many times do I succeed? Once. So this k minus 1 here is I have, and the cube stands for what? The probability of failure. So I need to fail every time except the last time. That's what that minus 1 means. And then I succeed. There's really like a 1 here. I succeed once. So I fail every time except for the final attempt. So 1 less than the number of attempts. And then I succeed once. So the formula makes, that's what I was trying to get at. Why does the formula make sense? So you fail k minus 1 times before you succeed once. So, I don't have to staple. I only staple when I steal yours. You came to me for a stapler. So why is there? Yeah.
So, how do you know that when you roll it 5 times, you don't fail the first 2 times, succeed the 3rd time, and then fail the next 2 times? Because then you only have 3.
So that would have the same probability, but it's not.
But would
It's not
you
real.
also have to calculate those possibilities in as well to your answer, or do you not?
Well, so that would be I succeed on the 3rd attempt,
Yeah.
and then I would just stop. I wouldn't do the next 2 attempts, so like the experiment would be done.
But then you.
The likelihood of that happening is the same, but it's a different experiment that way.
Let's just continue. I'll understand it later.
Okay. Why is there no n in the formula? Because I don't know what it is. It's unknown. The mean of a geometric distribution is 1 over p. So we'll practice that a little bit too. Once we do some more of these. So to start with, can you identify whether it's binomial or geometric? So look through these 7. Tell me if it's binomial, geometric, or neither. For number 5, assume p is constant. Because yesterday, remember, Chase, remember you asked about that one yesterday. And same for 6. Assume p is constant. Geometric is only the first success. As soon as you get a question right, you leave the room, so you couldn't get a second question right or a third question. Damien, you with me?
Yeah.
Looks like you're in the parking lot.
I can feel that. This is so confusing me. I don't know why.
I think we do problems. It would make more sense. So, to answer your question, I would say, like, what's the probability that the first tail, let's not use that as a tail, so it's 0.5 every time. The first time I roll a 5 or a 6 comes on the 5th attempt. Well, that would mean I went fail, success. So I have to do 4, 6 to the 4th. And then 5, 6. Or 2, 6 once. That's the exact same probability as the success coming in the 4th or 3rd or 2nd or 1st slot.
I guess I was
But
just
I'm not
about it.
saying what's the probability of 1 success. Because then I'd have to do all of those in that amount.
Yeah.
That's binomial.
Gotcha.
So like the first one, it's not binomial. Well, it's like violating. It's confusing. It says there's a fixed number of trials, but then it says flip until you get 2 tails. So I don't know how many times I'm supposed to flip. I don't know if I stop and I get 2 tails. I don't know if I'm flipping. This is neither. This was designed to just be screwy. Roll a die until I get a 4 or 5. So I'm rolling until I get my first success, right? So that would be geometric. Flip a coin and let X be the number of flips to get 4 heads. Well, if that said the number of flips to get 1 head, it'd be geometric. But if it's 4 heads, it's neither. Like that's beyond geometric. Draw 8 cards. So I have a fixed number of trials. Let X be the number of red cards. So here that says clear success or failure. But so it kind of looks like it's binomial, but when I pull without replacement here, what does that do? Change the probabilities, so that one's actually neither also. 10 free throws, that's a fixed number. Let X be the number of misses. Binomial, right? It's a fixed number of trials, we got a clear success or failure. It's not like we're shooting until we miss one. We're just going to count them. Shoot free throws until you make one, what's that? That's geometric. Draw 4 cards, that's a fixed number of trials. Number of aces, so is that an ace, yes or no? With replacement, so the probability is the same, so what's this one? It's binomial. Questions on those 7? Okay, turn the page. So these work the same way as the binomial PDF and CDF. There's a Geo PDF. There is no N, so it's just PK. So that's actually like Punch Kids. And there's a CDF, PK, Pizza Kitchen, or but it works the exact same way. The PDF finds like the particular answer. The CDF finds that number and everything below it. So if I wanted to do number 5 here, multiple choice says questions A to E. So the point of me telling you that is so you know that P equals what? P equals 0.2 or 1/5. What's N? There isn't one. I don't know N because I'm looking for it here. So I didn't say anything when you're on a computer. But now you're taking your computer and you're not only distracting yourself, but you're showing other people what's happening. So can we just close it? Alright, so like find P of X equals 3. Is that GeoPDF or GeoCDF? It'll be PDF. So this is going to be GeoPDF. There's no N to put in. So you just put the P and the K. So P is 0.2. What's K? 3. You label it, and then you type it in. So it's like right next to it's at the very bottom of that list actually. So if you scroll up, it flips to the bottom. So you should get 0.128. So you don't necessarily need the formula for this. Like, how else could you do this problem? Like, if you never saw this formula, could you still do this problem? You got to succeed for the first time on the 3rd attempt. It means you failed the first time. What's the probability of failing? 0.8. Failed the second time. What's the probability of failing? 0.8. Third time you succeeded. What's the probability of succeeding? 0.2. If you multiply those together, what do you think you're going to get? You get 0.128. So like the formula kind of makes sense. Is what I'm trying to get at. What about this one? Probability X equals 0. Yeah.
I have a question. Wait.
Yeah.
If X equals 0, does that literally just mean like they're just gonna keep going?
that means like it's impossible, right? Can you get your first attempt on the? Can you get your first success on the 0th attempt? That doesn't make any sense.
No, it means
It means
zero.
like you're kind of like on the right track though. So it means that my first success came before I even tried, which doesn't make sense. Here, without trying, there is no success. That's a life lesson from Mr. Davis. Without trying, there is no success.
Quotes of that on Instagram.
Yeah.
Fail 100% of the shots you don't take.
Yeah, we feel them so shots.
Makes 100%.
I just corrected myself.
But then it would be okay. Alright, never mind.
So when you see that,
So but there's a difference now with geometrics and binomials. When I'm doing a binomial, could I like flip 10 coins and get 0 tails? Yeah, in a binomial, 0 can exist. In a geometric, could I get my first tail on the 0th flip? No. So you got like there's a difference. In one of them there's a 0, and one of them there's not.
You should just put a bunch of kids at the top and then
So
put
if
2
it's-
maximum. From Mr. Davis.
It's always considered, yeah. Alright, probably x is less than or equal to 2, so GeoPDF or GeoCDF? CDF. So this would be GeoCDF, then PK. So what's P? Still 0.2. And I want 2 or less, so what am I going to put in for K? I'll put in 2. And then that will add up the probability of the first success coming on the second attempt, the first attempt. And then actually that's it, because the 0 attempt can't happen. We see why this is CDF and not PDF, right? You guys get 0.36? Try the next 2. You have to try because without trying there is no success. Let's say that every day for the rest of the year now.
Yeah, you'll
Sound like Yoda.
Just because you're trash doesn't mean you can't do something. It's called garbage can.
It's way too long.
That was hilarious, though.
Just because you're trash, I just want to. Just because you're trash doesn't mean you can't do something.
A second ago you were like, teacher hours, right? Now you're like, just because you're trash. Do the next 2. Alright.
We struggle on the bottom one. It's too quick. I look at it, I just don't.
Do you know what it means? It means, so this means between 2 and 4, and you're going to include both because they both have lower equal.
Like I understand that, but I don't understand like what to do for that.
So one way is you could do PDF of 2, PDF of 3, and PDF of 4, and add them all up, right?
Yeah.
But if it was like 2 to 11, now it's just a pain. So then I'll go through those ones in a second.
So is the answer to 0 or not? Like, not a number.
0. Like there is a 0 probability, but if you put not possible, that's same. So this fourth one here, if I want x to be greater than 2, I need it to be like 3, 4, 5, and higher. So I want to get rid of 2 and less, right? So I'm going to do 1 minus GeoCDF of 0.2 comma 2 to get rid of the 2 and less. That should be 0.64. How many 0.64 there? Nice, right? And then 2 to 4. So this means between 2 and 4, you're including both because you got the equals to there. So I want the 2, the 3, and the 4. So you could do PDF of 2, PDF of 3, PDF of 4, add them all up. Totally legitimate way to do it. It's just if it was like between 2 and 15, now it's going to be a huge pain. The other way would be, okay, I'm going to do GeoCDF of 0.2 comma 4. And what's that going to find? 4, 3, 2, 1. But I don't want the 1 there, right? So what do I have to subtract? GeoP 4 CDF of 0.2, 1. So you're first finding the 4 and everything below it, and then you're getting rid of what you don't want. Robo, does that help? So do you guys get 0.3904?
Yep.
Questions on that? All right, let's look at the number 6. So they're kind of jerks about it, and they will do this more often than I would like. So if you read through that, I put it in capital letters. They won't always do that, and it's like they're trying to trick you instead of seeing if you know the material, which I don't really like. But they're asking for the first wrong answer. So in this case, if success is getting it wrong, what's the probability of success? It's 0.75. So I'm gonna keep asking you questions until you get one wrong. And when you get one wrong, you're allowed to leave, which doesn't make any sense, but they like to flip it back and forth on you. So if I was doing it until I got one right, P would be 0.25. But because I'm looking to get one wrong, if it's A, B, C, D, I've got a 75% chance of getting it wrong. You see what they do there? It's just annoying. I wish they didn't do it, but they didn't ask me. So try these. Try these 5. This is the same as the other stuff. You should be labeling every time. So PK, so I should have put a P and a K up here in all of these. Penalty kick. That's what that was. Pikachu. You knew I was going to say that?
Yeah, I was thinking it in my head.
You said this is going to ramp.
You sound like Pika.
I hate you.
That's what it sounds like.
Oh my god, who was that?
That was Robo.
I was like, calling it at him.
That was so
Spring break, he had his little toy and it made noise did his thing.
PK Fire? Is that a Pikachu thing? Is that why?
No, that's for Smash.
Oh. Second one's just 0, basically.
Do we have to write out how many zeros? Can we just put 2.86?
You have to write out how many zeros there are, but if there's that many zeros, you can just say the answer is 0. Fair enough.
Yes.
But if it was like E-3, then you should put a couple zeros in front. See if you're getting what I'm getting. Make sure I'm doing it right. Make sure we're on the same page here.
So 3 in 100,000. No, I mean further down.
Oh, we just clicked.
So I'm gonna left 10 wrong. You're doing it. Let's see.
Yeah.
Then if you think about the lottery, it's going to be a lot smaller. Because no longer you're trying to get 10, 1, and 4, 3 and 4 chance wrong. You're getting
6 out of 6. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was a 3.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
round 1 to 0.
Yeah. So 0.015625. Check these as you're going.
Wait a minute, I got like the exact opposite of that.
For which one?
0. I got point. I got 0.9999999.
Did you do 0.25 coming to?
Geometric. Oh, I did CDF. There we go. That makes
Oh, so that would mean like you get one wrong somewhere before the 10th question, which like you're probably going to.
Yeah.
So I did the last one exactly the way you wrote it out.
Not as full.
But you didn't get what I got?
Well,
Is
we
there
did
less
a
than
part of
5
another.
flipped?
We did.
Oh, good.
You put 4 5.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Good for me.
I had 0.7 instead. So that's cool. I got 2 out of 5 wrong. I got 60% in my own quiz.
Oh, I heard that.
This is why you can't say things like you're a teacher.
Yes. I feel like I'm a teacher.
Didn't I just ask you to put the computer away? Questions on these 5 here? You guys getting where you should begin? Alright, go to the back. So read through it first and tell me what P is. Don't say it out loud. Don't ruin it for everybody else.
It's just a question.
Which question?
Are you trying to get tails? So that would be a success if you get tails.
Yes.
That was the whole stuff you just wrote.
The ship died. The ship sinks at the end of Titanic. That's basically what you just told us.
Except everyone
I
knows
just
that,
asked
so.
Right. So just realize that I'm being a jerk again, but I'm being a jerk because the AP test will, and I'm trying to get you used to jerks. So yeah, you're used to me being a jerk already. So I'm telling you, Lance had 60% of the time, and they're asking for tails. So what's P? 0.4.
What?
Didn't you
You
just
still
tell me?
got it wrong.
I put 0.6
Sorry.
and I thought.
You need to be around more jerk.
She's the one that clarified
Yeah.
for you.
I thought we were the size. I thought the success was.
Success is tails.
So that's what we're trying to find.
Yeah.
And if you fail, would that be getting heads?
Yeah, but we want to succeed.
P is the probability.
P is the probability of success.
I'm just gonna shut up. I'll figure it out.
Do you have Mr. Porter's calculator?
No, does he think I do? Oh, does she?
Yes, I think that's it. He was looking for it. He couldn't.
Does he need it, or he just wanted to know where it was?
He just wanted to know what it was.
Okay.
Yeah, he's just walking down the hall.
Freaking out.
Yeah, we got it. We got it under control.
Alright.
So do this one. Emily, do you get why it's 0.4?
Life was like,
Yeah, Nathan's right. Look at that, he's recovering. Oh, right, gotcha. That didn't really like make me feel better. Okay.
It's not a
There seems to be a lot of talking, which concerns me that there's not enough working. Make sure we're doing these problems, please. I don't mind the talking if you're working, but I'm not getting that vibe right now.
Did you take pictures?
Horrible timing, Jarvis. And horribly located since you're like.
done.
Oh. Well then. Yes.
He broke the law. That's basically what it is.
Take a picture of a sunset. Don't take pictures.
You are such a badass.
Oh, no, he got you.
Language.
Honestly, has anyone seen the picture?
Oh, I'm down.
Oh, Doug.
Why?
I haven't seen a bird since 2000.
Imagine watching this like video. Like you didn't know what you're doing. And you're gonna, this is what you're gonna come up with.
This is what Maddie's gonna watch.
This is what Maddie has to deal with. Sorry, Maddie.
She